Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Andrew. I am pleased to be able to second this amendment and perhaps have the opportunity to explain why. People probably don't know me very well. I don't live anywhere near this scheme. I don't work anywhere near this scheme. I very rarely travel anywhere near this scheme. And I represent people in the east of Sheffield for whom not one person has mentioned this scheme to me. So if my role as a city councillor, that becomes difficult. So one of the reasons I'm pleased to be able to speak now is, one, to thank the officers who have provided some excellent information on this scheme and kept me up to date, but more so to thank all the many residents of the area who've provided a whole variety of opinions. My inbox, certainly over the last couple of weeks, has been absolutely full of messages from people who've taken the time to express their views on this. And the difficulty is, these are very, very differing views. And, you know, it's very easy if you have a consultation and everybody says we want it or we don't want it, but you can imagine there are very, very different views. And I'd particularly like to thank my colleagues, Niga and Ibi, who are local councillors in Nether Edge, for doing their jobs as local councillors in Nether Edge, for actually listening to what people say and for telling us what people in the area are saying. And that has helped to influence my decision on this and my support of the amendment, even though I know it's not universally popular. I mean, if I've come from a personal point of view, I'm starting to feel I might have at one time been ahead of my time, because I didn't learn to drive until I was 40, which is probably longer ago than many of you are thinking, but you know, it was a while ago. And before that, my only form of transport was cycling. I didn't cycle for pleasure. I didn't have a mountain bike. I had a road bike and I drove it on the roads. I used to cycle from Woodhouse to Fulwood when I worked at Fulwood. Thankfully, I got moved to Firth Park, which was a slightly flatter journey, and I'd cycle there every day. I had no qualms about putting my football kit on my back and cycling to Loxley on a Sunday morning, playing football and cycling back. And even, not as often, managed to get a cricket bag on the back of a road bike and get to the odd cricket game. But I'm still not sure how I did that. And I have to say, I would have killed for, say, active travel schemes and cycles, or probably being less likely to be killed. I'm thankful that over all that time cycling, I was only ever hit by a motorist twice and wasn't seriously injured on either occasion. And both times they didn't see me, you know, they weren't thinking. So anything we can do to protect that is brilliant. But over time, I've changed. I lost my job in Sheffield. I was made redundant. I now work in Harrogate. Cycling, not an option. And sadly, my wife has a rare neurological condition which results in, you know, increasing levels of muscle weakness as time goes on. And driving is the only option to visit a lot of places. It's all we can do to get there. If we want to go out and see places, we have to drive. And, well, I think these schemes are great. And, you know, some of the benefits that have been pointed out by people who live in the area are wonderful. I don't think, as a nation, as a society, we've quite reached the stage where we can universally do all this. You know, and it's not just active transport. You know, my travel is reduced by probably 7,000 or 8,000 miles a year as a result of Teams meetings and being able to access network files from home and from anywhere in the country rather than having to drive into work. And I think there are lots of things and a lot further we can go. And sadly, I fear there may have been announcements this afternoon by central government that don't get us there as quickly. But until all those things are in place, I just don't think we can universally do this. And when people in the area and the people who represent the people in the area are expressing those concerns, I think on this occasion, having supported the other schemes that have come before us today, because they're entirely the right thing to do, I think I have to go with the amendment as proposed by Councillor Sanger today. Thank you, Chair.